everybody, it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a full face first impressions. It's not going to be like a completely full face, but it's going to be quite a few different products and most of it is going to be from e.l.f. So I'm going to kind of substitute in like my setting spray, my concealer, a couple other things with some other e.l.f. products just because that's going to be like the majority of the video. It's going to be like testing new e.l.f. products. So I did just get back from Ulta and I picked up quite a few things that I saw. So of course I ended up getting the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. I got mine in the shade Fair 120N, which I believe is the lightest shade and it seemed like it would be like the closest match to my skin right now. Then I also picked up, this one is actually from Revlon. This is their Revlon Skin Lights New Prismatic Bronzer and I got mine in the shade 115 Sun-Kissed Beam. And that is what this is looking like. I just wanted to try that out because I've heard from quite a few different YouTubers that that's actually like a very good one. Then I also picked up the L'Oreal Paris Air Volume Mega Mascara, and this is in number 853 Blackest Black, so I just got that in the waterproof version. Because again, I heard that a lot of people like this, but I haven't seen anyone try the waterproof one, and like that's one that I prefer, so I'm going to be trying that out. Then I also got the e.l.f. Hydrating Core Lip Shine, and this is in the shade Happy. So that's what this one's looking like. And then I also picked up the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss in the shade Peach Bellini, which is just a really pretty nude color. And then I also got two more things. I picked up one of the Bite Size Face Duos, and this one is in the shade Coconut, so it has a blush and a highlight. And then I also picked up one of their Bite Size eyeshadow palettes, and I actually got this in Hot Jalapeno, so it is like kind of the green one, because I really like wearing green eyeshadow, so I wanted to kind of try that out and compare it to like the Baby Yoda palette or the Child Mandalorian palette, just because those are like some of my favorite greens, so I wanted to give that a go. And that is everything that I picked up today, so I guess we will kind of get into it. I'm going to pin back my hair and then we can get started on everything. Okay, so to start off before we begin, I'm just going to prime my skin. Today I'm using the Touch in Sol Pretty Filter Glassy Skin Balm. This is really great if my skin is feeling super dry because it's a very rich hydrating one. And I feel like with the CC cream, if that one isn't like, it doesn't have claims to be very like hydrating or anything like that, and if it's similar to the IT CC cream, then I know that I need a little bit more hydration with a product like that, especially during the winter. Alright, so you can see that left my skin very dewy and glowy, so I think we are all set, ready to start testing out some of the products. So I'm just going to open up the CC cream and give this one a go. It has a really nice pump, so I'm just going to take some of that and swipe that onto my skin. It actually feels quite thick. I feel like I didn't need like as much as I took. I'm also using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge just to kind of give this the best shot, since this is what it's supposed to kind of be used with. So I think that the color is like pretty much a perfect match for me. It looks a little bit light, but with bronzer and blush and everything, I'm sure it should be fine. So just taking a little bit of a closer look, I feel like my skin is looking pretty good. It looks pretty nice and airbrushed actually. And it's really like smoothing out. It doesn't look very cakey. So we'll see once I blend over like my concealer and put my powder on and everything, how everything is looking. So now I'm going to go ahead and go in with concealer. I'm just taking my e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is the hydrating one. You can see I've used this like a ton. It's actually almost empty, and I'm in the shade Light Ivory. I have the concealer all blended out, and it's looking pretty good. The concealer and the CC cream definitely blended together and work together quite nicely. So I'm just going to go ahead and powder my skin. I'm just going to be going in with my Beauty Bakery Flour Powder as normal. This is like my favorite one. This time I'm going to be going in with my sponge, and I'm just going to take some of that, tap off the excess in the lid, and just make sure that there's no creasing or anything under my eye or on my eyelid. So I'm actually going to lower my lights a little bit, but I don't know if you'll be able to see on my nose. So like right over here you can kind of see I have some dryness on my nose and it's kind of clinging to that, but it could just be because it would have done that anyway, but just thought I would mention it, that way you guys know. And I'm just going to powder the rest of my face that I didn't use the loose powder on with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish airbrush powder, and I have this in the shade number 2 medium. So I'm just going to set my cheeks a little bit down my neck, my forehead. I'm also still wanting a little bit more coverage on this little spot right here, so I'm just going to take my Bare Minerals like powder concealer in the shade Well Rested, and I'm just going to grab a little bit on my finger, and I'm just going to dab that on and blend it out just to give a little bit more coverage. So now I'm going to go into this Revlon Skin Lights bronzer, and I'm just going to warm up my skin a little bit. It seems like quite a buildable bronzer. It seems like you just need a couple layers to kind of build it up to where you want it, which I like. It makes it easy to use and easy to blend out quite nice. So I feel like that did a pretty good job. Again, quite a subtle bronze. Typically I would go for something a little bit deeper, but I guess the shade itself isn't too deep, but it definitely builds up to quite a nice finish. So I think now we are going to move on to blush. Again, this is the e.l.f. Bite Size Face Duo in the shade Coconut, which looks like this. I will go ahead and just do some swatches of this just so you can get a better look at it before I put it on my face. This is the highlight, which is quite pretty, and this is the blush color. It looks like a very bronzy nude color, but I think that I will really enjoy this because I typically prefer shades like this. So I'm going to go in with my blinged brushes, and I'm just going to pick up some of that blush. It looks pretty pigmented, so I'm just going to tap off. Definitely very pigmented. I really love the color though. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the highlight. So I'm just going to take the highlight from the same palette. This seems a little bit more like glittery than what I would typically go for. I more so like to go for like a subtle glow rather than like a glittery glow, but it's still definitely pretty. It's quite glittery, honestly. Like I don't think I really like the highlight that much, unfortunately. It will just apply it to the other side, but I might just kind of tap it in with my beauty blender or with the e.l.f. Camo Sponge and go over it with a different highlight just because, I don't know. And like you can kind of see it like kicked back in the pan a little bit. It's like quite a crumbly formula. I don't know if that's because of the glitter or not, but I just want you to know. Just to kind of like go over that and add a little bit of like a regular glow, I'm just taking this Wet n Wild highlight. This is in the shade Crown of My Canopy, which is a very similar shade. It's just a little bit more of a glow rather than a glitter. But overall, out of the base products, I think I really like the CC cream. I'm liking how the finish is looking. I think I would choose a more lightweight concealer just because the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer is a little bit of like a thicker, more full coverage one. So I would probably use that with like my Bare Minerals Bare Skin Concealer, which is like more of a serum concealer, just because I think it would prevent kind of the creasing under my eye, which I don't really know if you can see. It's not so bad on this side, it's more on this side, but yeah, I think overall the base is looking pretty good. I really like the blush. I think the blush is probably my favorite part. Bronzer is pretty good. Highlight I could do without. And yeah, I think that's my verdict on those. Now I'm just going to set my skin a little bit before we move on to like the eyes, the lips, the eyebrows, everything like that. I'm just taking my Fenty What It Do spray. Just really melted everything together, feeling pretty good. I feel like my under eyes are still looking a little bit dry, but hopefully as time goes on, it looks a little bit better. Okay, so I just wiped off my lips and I'm actually going to apply a little bit of this lip plumping cream. Again, this is in the shade Peach Bellini, and it's like a plumping lip gloss. Just going to leave this on while I do my eyebrows and everything before I move on to the other lip product that I have picked out. Oh wow, I can feel it already. That is a pretty like strong formula. It's very similar actually to the Too Faced lip injection. The way that it feels, I didn't think it would be like as intense as it is. I think the color is pretty. Normally I wouldn't go for something as like light like this, but I think over like a deep lip color could look pretty nice. For my brows today, I'm just going to take my Benefit Gimme Brow. I think I wear the shade 3 in the Gimme Brow. I have nothing else in my brows right now, but I'm just going to apply this and run it through and then just fill in any other gaps with my eyebrow pencil. Then I'm actually going to go in with the Milani Weekend Brow. This is in the shade 130 Medium Brown, and it's like the one that kind of looks like a little eyeliner. This is a dupe for the ABH eyebrow pen. It's the same brush. It's like a super skinny little brush, and you can see the Gimme Brow fills in quite a bit, but I'm just going to fill in some of the more sparse areas in the front and then by my tail. And with this product, I find is like a good tip is I make my little strokes and then I'll just kind of go over with my finger. That way nothing looks too harsh. Now I'm going to go in with my eyeshadow. So I'm going to be taking this little bite-size hot jalapeno eyeshadow palette, and we're going to do a little bit of a green look today. Now, the two matte shades are right here and the two shimmers are right here, so I think what I'm going to do is go into my ColourPop Mandalorian palette and just take a little bit of a lighter green just as a transition shade, just because I know on my skin tone I'm quite fair. I need like a little bit of something just to kind of act as my transition. What I'm going to do is just take the shade Baby Face, which is this one right here, this middle one. It's not as like green, it's a little bit of like a more pastel green, but it'll just serve its purpose just to kind of act as like a base for my eyeshadow. I'm going to take that same brush and go in with this first green right here. And then I'm just going to take whatever is left on my brush and just drag that under my eye. Then I'm going to take the next darkest shade. I'm just going to take a very small amount of that and tap that right on that outer edge. So I have deepened up both of my eyes, and you can see it's looking pretty nice, I think. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is take a flat brush. This is just the Morphe M421. And what I like to do is just put a little bit of the NYX glitter primer on the back of my hand, and I'll kind of pick that up and then sort of cut my crease. First, I'm actually just going to wipe off the rest of this plumping gloss. Now I'm going to go in with this lipstick. I think it's like one of the ones that has, it's the Hydrating Core Lip Shine. So I'm just going to put on a little bit of this. So I like how that looks. It feels good. It looks nice. Normally I'm not like a huge lipstick person. I'm more of like a lip balm person, and this is definitely more of like a tinted lip balm. So I'm really enjoying that. So let me go ahead and add the glitter primer, and then I'll be right back. I applied the primer kind of like a cut crease, so I'm just going to go in with the same brush into the lightest green shade right over here. And I'm just going to tap that all over where I placed the primer. Now I'm just going to take some of the gold and put that on that very inner portion. And with a very tiny crease brush, I'm just going to take some more of the original green shade right here and just tap that over the very edges of the green shimmer that I just laid down, just to kind of blend out the edges right there. Alright, so this is both eyes done. I think it's looking pretty good so far, and once I do like my mascara and my liner, it'll all kind of just come together. So I'm going to try out my new mascara. This is going to be the L'Oreal Paris Air Volume Mega Mascara in Blackest Black Waterproof. Alright, so let's test out the mascara. I'm just going to apply a couple coats of this, and I will be right back. I'm actually really liking this mascara. It is like super black and volumizing, and I think it is looking so good. I got a little bit on my lid, but like wow, that is looking really nice. If this like dries and it still looks like this, I think this is gonna be like my new favorite. I know I've been loving L'Oreal Telescopic for so long, but this like really is doing it all right now. I am amazed by that. Wow. I kind of don't even want to do eyeliner because I feel like the lashes are just looking so good. Wow, I am very happy with that. I think at this point I can kind of take my hair down, and yeah, see, with like the hair down, everything like that, I think it's just looking really pretty. I might not even do liner today. I think I'm just gonna leave it at this because I'm really liking that. Yeah, I am super happy with this. So that was everything that I have today. I pretty much liked every single product that I used today except for the highlight in the e.l.f. little blush duo. But the blush itself I really enjoyed. Everything I think is super perfect. So if you want or have the opportunity to purchase any of this, I would definitely recommend it. Just be wary of the highlighter in the e.l.f. duo. Unless you prefer highlighters that have glitter, then that'll be like perfect for you. So that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!